Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the inaugural Singapore Art Week Art Symposium. My name is Pauline Gan. I'm from Plural Art Mag, and I will be your MC for today. To our physical audience here at Victoria Theatre in Singapore, we're so glad to have you here with us, joining us in person. And to our online audience watching this live stream of this event on Cystic Live from Singapore and all over the world, thank you for dialing in. We have an exciting lineup of panel discussions taking place today and over the next 2 days, and we hope you will continue to stay with us as the symposium progresses. To open the symposium, it is my pleasure to welcome Mrs. Rosa Daniel, Deputy Secretary, Culture at the Ministry of Culture, Community and Youth, and Chief Executive of the National Arts Council, to give her welcome address. Mrs. Daniel, please.
Very good afternoon to all. A warm welcome to those of you who are able to join us here in this beautiful hall, the historic Victoria Theatre. And also a very warm welcome to friends who are dialing in virtually and from all over the world. And if you're in a different time zone, especially appreciated. Today's symposium is held under the auspices of the Singapore Art Week, or SAW 2021. And this is the 9th edition of SAW. As in the past 8 editions, this is a platform for presenting original and creative visual arts programs to domestic and international audiences. This year, for the first time, SAW is presented in a complementary blended format in response to the COVID situation. We have a lineup of over 100 physical and digital programs. SAW 2021 has shown that it is possible for the arts to remain vibrant with a resilient community working together here and outside Singapore. The rich diversity of works and programs clearly reflects the determination of the arts community to stay strong despite the huge challenges. This year's edition showcases the largest number of commissioned works to date, with over 40 outstanding Singapore-based projects and 95 partner events. Over 300 artists are participating from Singapore, Canada, Hong Kong, Japan, the Netherlands, UK, and the US. Despite current travel restrictions, C-Focus, which is a curated showcase of Southeast Asian contemporary art, has maintained its regional and international connections. There are works by 43 artists from Singapore and Southeast Asia, represented by 27 participating local and international galleries. C-Focus has also collaborated with international online platform Artsy to host its digital programs, ensuring that access remains available for international collectors all around the world. Here in Singapore, art has really taken over, as our SAW tagline says. Our domestic audiences are enjoying physical arts experiences across Singapore, from arts and cultural institutions to public spaces and neighborhoods, with a slew of visual arts events and experiences that audiences can immerse themselves in. Among the works are those which were initiated in 2020 with the government's support, when our artists had to grapple with stringent COVID restrictions. At the onset of the crisis in April 2020, the government launched the Arts and Culture Resilience Package with $55 million Sing dollars 55 million, and that translates to $42 million. And this was to safeguard livelihoods, retain important capabilities and talents in the arts and culture ecosystem, so as to help the arts community to respond to the COVID challenges and to emerge stronger in the aftermath. Under the ACRP, NAC rolled out new grant schemes and commissions, which together created over 12,000 job and training opportunities for the arts community and supported close to 800 digitalization projects. The ACRP also funded the Capability Development Scheme for the Arts, which supported over 1,100 training opportunities, enabling over 370 arts organizations and arts self-employed persons to develop new skills to respond to the new challenges. The ACRP operating grant benefited some 26 visual arts organizations at a total quantum of $1.6 million. And this was over and above the national level job support scheme, which provided broad-based wage support to all employers, including arts employers such as private galleries and visual arts organizations. Our visual arts ecosystem was also sustained through other financial support in the form of rental waivers and venue hire subsidies for help to defray operational costs. Alongside the carefully calibrated and progressive resumption of activities within our art spaces, these funding efforts helped our visual arts sector to stay alive and well, thriving throughout 2020. The visual arts sector received further support through the Digitalization Presentation Grant, or the TPG, for experimentation and presentation of new digital work. More than 100 visual arts projects were supported at a total of $1.2 million. One excellent project was Reza Hasni's solo digital exhibition titled Center for Altered Togetherness. And another was Yoshiyun's Mind Ink Painting Machine. Both of these projects were created and presented through the DPG. And these have been further developed into physical showcases, which audiences are now enjoying in SAW 2021. We also rolled out new commissions, such as the Streets of Hope, which benefited over 360 local artists, presenting artworks lining the streets of Singapore, which helped to uplift the spirits of Singaporeans during the nation's safe reopening in June 2020. You can now see a selection of these works at Gilman Barracks. Another project worth highlighting is Rewritten, a commission of 14 new public artworks in different parts of Singapore, made possible by the NAC's Public Art Trust in response to the pandemic. Beyond the efforts of the NAC, our partner cultural institutions like the National Gallery and the Singapore Art Museum also contributed much to sustaining the visual arts scene by major commissions and programs throughout 2020. These not only gave work to our visual artists and organizations, but also new, innovative experiences for audiences. I share this year, 2020, in review because the many good things that have been possible in 2021 in SAW this year, including today's symposium, are indeed the result of a sector that stayed strong and innovative through a combination of grit and hard work from the visual arts community and strongly supported through generous public funding. SAW 2021 is certainly in many ways a culmination of how we have together thrived in the new normal in a rich and cohesive arts ecosystem of museums, galleries, arts companies, and artists, supported by a strongly committed public sector. Much can be said about our key learnings from 2020. But if there are any takeaways from the year before and now and beyond, it would have to be the importance of staying connected and agile as a sector as we adapt to the ever-evolving operating context. Even as our individual and collective experiences are shared through artistic creation and presentation, they are also enriched through critical discourse, reflections, and conversations. In the last two editions of SAW, panel discussions and curated conversations had greatly enhanced our shared experiences beyond commissions, exhibitions, and gallery presentations. C-Focus, for example, featured panel discussions that brought together influential voices from the visual arts sector here and beyond our shores. SAW 2021 this year is pleased to continue this practice with the Singapore Art Week Art Symposium. The COVID crisis has presented the opportunity and need more than ever before for us to come together and reflect on what we have learned and what we reimagine as a future for the arts that we all desire. We face the same challenges in every country of safeguarding artistic livelihoods and building the strong capabilities within the arts communities to respond to the new operating context. We share the same wish and desire to find new ways to collaborate as we build on our own local and also international connections. I'm really glad that over the course of the next 3 days, we will have the opportunity to glean insights from industry experts, partners, colleagues, and artists as we come together to think more deeply about the impact of the global pandemic and the art scene. There are so many angles that we could have explored in this edition. We have selected 3 broad themes which we thought would be universally relevant for these times and also focus our energies, namely physical and digital spaces, programming for the arts, and forging strong partnerships. It is important now more than ever before to create meaningful and innovative spaces, physically and digitally, so that we can provide context for positive interactions and shared experiences. And it's even more important that we work closely with our stakeholders and partners for the arts to remain sustainable. The symposium opens with a discussion on physical spaces in panel 1, where we explore the importance of arts and cultural sites in shaping and defining our cities, as well as the impact of cultural policy and urban planning on arts communities that occupy these spaces. This panel is moderated by Usha Chandradas of Plural Art Mag. She brings together eminent arts leaders, Wilson Tan, Teo Chin Chin and Aaron Sito from Singapore, Hong Kong, and Indonesia, respectively. The virtual space is considered in panel 2, where we explore how digital technology has impacted the way that arts is created and experienced from the perspectives of curators and artists, particularly with the rise of digital mediums necessitated by the pandemic. We have a distinguished panel. Daniel Birnbaum from London, Takashi Kudo from Japan, Dr. Jun Yap of Singapore Art Museum, and this is moderated by Russell Storer from the National Gallery, Singapore. We will hear views on how we might embark on new possibilities with the digital world in retaining and growing audiences. On day 2, we move to the second theme of programming for the arts, where we discuss the value of public art commissions, biennales, and other citywide events. We ask what it means for art to be in public and for the public in panel 3, with Tamras Goh of National Gallery Singapore moderating a panel comprising Fram Kitagawa of Japan, Emily Sullivan of Australia, and from Singapore, May Anderson and Jan Bos, whose work in the non-profit and community programs make them very well placed to share their thoughts on cultural philanthropy. Panel 4 aptly discusses the pandemic's impact on citywide exhibitions. We reflect on the learning points, challenges, and possibilities for post-pandemic programming with Emma O'Neill from Australia, Shubi Gao from Singapore, Alia Swastika from Indonesia, and Juliet Knapp from Japan. This panel is moderated by David Chu of National Heritage Board. The panels on the last day will address the concerns of our partners, who are also our very key stakeholders, especially those within the private sector of corporates and art businesses who play an integral role within the arts ecosystem. So in panel 5, we pick up earlier conversations about the impact of digital formats on the art market by examining the crucial role that it had played in 2020 when the pandemic resulted in the closure of galleries and art fairs globally. Pauline Gan of Plural Art Mag moderates the panel with Kim Tae, Chong Hwai Sing, and Natasha Wiffin. Panel 6 is presented by Art SG and UBS. It continues our focus on the arts economy with a very experienced panel of art market experts moderated by Magnus Renfree of Art SG, comprising Kelvin Tay of UBS, Patty Wong and Melanie Fash from Sotheby's, and Alan Lee from Richemont. We conclude with different representatives from the local arts ecosystem in panel 7 as we hear their vision of how their roles might change in a post-pandemic world. For this, we hear the diverse perspectives of Dr. Chen Yan Yin, Kai Hori, Adele Tan, and Josephine Kaliha on how we can better partner one another to co-create programs and outcomes. And this panel is moderated by Nadia Wang from Art and Market. Now, I've taken some trouble to share the design of the symposium and the names of our many moderators and panelists who are leaders and experts in their fields. And this is because I believe that this amply reflects the rich and diverse community that makes up the visual arts scene here in Singapore and beyond. Each of you plays a critical role in deepening our understanding and appreciation of how the visual arts can impact on and enrich our lives. The fact that you have taken time to participate shows that we all share common concerns and a deep wish to share our experiences and knowledge. It augurs well for the future if we can collectively apply our minds and hearts to respond to the challenges and to seize the opportunities. So I hope that these conversations and networks bridged through the symposium will continue beyond our time together in the next 3 days. I end by expressing my appreciation to the Plural Art Mag team for your hard work in producing the symposium, as well as the teams working with them to make this happen physically and digitally. I would also like to acknowledge our partners ArtSG and Art and Market for contributing their experience panels towards the symposium. I wish you all a robust discussion and a fruitful 3 days ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Daniel. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now take a short break for the changeover in panels. We hope you continue to stay with us. Our first panel will commence very shortly. Please bear with us for just a little while. Thank you.